Hi everybody. Um, I have ordered a new microphone. It's not arrived yet, but I'm hoping that it will be here in time for our class next week. I'm going to try and speak reasonably loudly just to make sure that you can hear what I'm saying. This is a second edition of the video that I made for you last week because I had a problem with the technology side of things, and for some reason my PDF document with the book in it disappeared. So as you know, the lesson that I recorded for you was all about jobs and careers. What's the difference between a job and a career? A job is just something you do. You don't have a plan to do that job for the rest of your life. It's just something that you do to pay the bills. A career, on the other hand, is the direction you want your professional life to travel in. So perhaps you want to end up being the CEO of a company. How do you start off? Well, first thing you have to do is go to university and get some kind of degree that's useful in business. Then you have to join a company and spend time there, slowly learn your job, get promoted, make connections inside the company, slowly get promoted, maybe move to another company that gives you a promotion, and slowly work your way up the ladder as you gain experience and knowledge. So that's the difference between a job, say for example, working in McDonald's, and then a difference between joining like a tourism degree, as perhaps you're doing. This is lining you up for a career, a long term. Maybe you'll do this for your whole life, your whole working life. Okay, so we're going to discuss your career plan, then we're going to look at how your online profile can affect your employment prospects, either positively or negatively. We'll do some vocabulary which is connected to careers and jobs and these things. And then we'll talk about, in English, how do we discuss ability, how do we make requests, and how do we make offers. We'll also look a little bit at telephone skills, and then we'll take part in a case study where we are going to try and decide who might be the best candidate for a job. So let's get started as we go along this now. So I'm going to go back over here. Hopefully this is where it will not break. Okay, so we're scrolling down and we're going to page, let me find it. Okay, so we're looking at page 6. And the title of page 6 is Careers. Many people quit looking for work when they find a job. And down on the left side, as you can see, in the overview, we can see all the things that I just mentioned: vocabulary, reading, listening, language review, skills, and a case study. Now, in this it says discuss these questions. It's quite difficult to discuss something when you're sitting in your house by yourself. So how are we going to face this kind of activity, given the fact that everyone is doing distance learning? There's a few ways that we could handle this. When it says discuss this, what you could do is just think it over for yourself. Ask yourself, how ambitious are you, for example? Perhaps a better way would be to make a small Zoom meeting with one of your classmates. And you can ask each other these questions and have a think about it. It's very important to have an idea of who you are as a person so that you can think about what kind of career is going to be suitable for you. So, how ambitious are you? What does ambitious mean? Well, it comes from the word ambition. Ambition is if someone is ambitious, this adjective, it means that they're not satisfied doing the same job at the same level for their whole life. Some people are. Some people just want to have a salary coming in every month. They don't want too much responsibility. They don't really look for responsibility. In fact, maybe they even avoid it. Other people are very motivated to move up the employment ladder. These people are what we call ambitious. How ambitious are you on a scale of 1 to 10? 1, not ambitious at all. 10, incredibly ambitious. And then question number 2 is vitally important to you. Do you have a career plan? One question you're going to be asked in a lot of job interviews is this question: where do you see yourself in 10 years' time? People ask you this because they're trying to figure out, are you going to stay with our company? How motivated are you? Or are you just kind of a quiet plodder, someone who just goes along slowly? So where do you want to be in 10 years' time? And do you know how you're going to get there? That's what making a career plan is all about. If you're not sure what your own career plan is, time to get online and start searching for jobs that you're interested in. Find out how you get a job like that, and then find out what kind of promotion opportunities are there inside that particular career. So looking at question 3, which of the following would you prefer to do? The 3 choices. 1 is work for a company during your career. One company. So you start off as a junior and you spend your whole working life for that company. Or B, would you like to work for several different companies? Maybe you want to get some experience and use that to jump to the next promotion or to jump to a different company. And then there's option C, work for yourself. Now, I'm just going to pause this for a moment to check I don't have that same technical problem I had before. Hopefully I'll be back very soon. Well, I'm very happy to say that it does seem to be working. I still have it up on my screen and it's still in the video. Okay then, now, let's look at exercise B. Let's look at exercise B. Now it says here, look at these activities 1 to 7. In pairs, match each activity to its corresponding area of work. So basically, the phrase on the left is connected to something on the right. And what you've got to try and do is to look at each one and decide, where does it connect to? So let's look at number 1. Making and manufacturing things. So let's look at the other column, this column here. So what is that? Is it sales and marketing? Is it finance? Is it management? Is it human resources? Is it production? Is it research and development? Or is it customer service? What I'd like you to do is to pause this video in a moment and then write down everything that's on the left side. So 1 until 7, write down those sentences. And then also write down the ones in the second column, A, B, C, D, E, and F. Write down the words side by side and then draw a line or write down the letter. So if you think of making and manufacturing things comes under E for production, you could write down the letter E beside making and manufacturing things. So, once you've written that out, and then written down the letter of the sentence on the right, which you think connects to the sentence on the left, you can unpause this video and we'll continue. Okay, so please pause the video now. Okay then, so let's look at the answers for this exercise. Number 1 is making and manufacturing things. Well, okay, that's an easy one to start with, right? That's production. So you would write the letter E beside making and manufacturing. Being in charge of people and running the organization. Which one of the options do you think that one is? I think that the answer is management, because they generally make the decisions and they're in charge of the people. Selling products and services, that's quite an easy one. That's A, because it's sales and marketing. Dealing with clients and consumers. Customer service, G. Working with figures, finance, B. Finance is American, finance is British pronunciation. Finance, finance. Both are correct. Dealing with employees and training. Employee is the person who works for the company. Employer is the person who gives the job. So dealing with employees and training is human resources. And then number 7, investigating and testing. Well, that's research and development, which is letter F. Okay then, so let's take a look. What should you do? This is C. What should you do to get ahead in your career? Choose the 4 most important tips from this list. Compare your ideas in a group and try to agree on a final choice. Now, okay, the way I would do this exercise if I were you is I would personally choose the 4 things that you think are the most important, and then just ask your friends in WhatsApp which one they picked. And then if you disagree over some points, you can discuss it with each other. There is no real absolutely correct group of 4. They're all important. So change companies often. This is how to get promotion in your job, right? What's the best way of being promoted? Use charm with your superiors. Hello, Papa. Oh yes, you're very clever. Like that. Being super nice with your bosses. Attend all meetings. Go to your company's social functions. Be energetic and enthusiastic at all times. Be the last to leave work every day. Find an experienced person to give you help and advice. Study for extra qualifications in your free time. Based on my own experience, I think that making friends is never a bad idea. So going to company social functions this is an opportunity for you to meet the people that you work with outside of the normal working environment. Using charm with your superiors. When your boss likes you, good things happen. If they don't like you, usually you'll slowly get pushed into a less favorable position and perhaps not get the promotion that you're looking for. One of the things about working in a large group is you have to be able to work in a team. The other people in your team should respect your work. That's one. So you have to know your job. You have to do your job, and you can't be lazy. But it's important if they like you. Find an experienced person to give you help and advice. This is, I think, a very wise thing to do. being energetic is good. Changing companies can be good or it can be negative. It depends on if you're having a good experience there or a bad one. Be the last to leave work every day. Study for extra qualifications. So yeah, as you can see, they're all good. They're all good ideas. But which do you think, which 4 do you think are the best ideas? Okay, so next we're looking at is career moves. So we've got some vocabulary here. So match each of these to the correct meaning. So again, please write down in your notebook both columns: career move, career break, career plan, career opportunities, career path, career ladder. Write those down and then write down the other column, A, B, C, D, E, F, all the chances to start or improve your career. And then pause the video, write it down, answer it just as we did in the other exercise before. Write it down, and then we can go over the answers together. Okay, pause the video. Okay, so a career move. A career move is, let's see, chance to start or improve, ideas you have for your future career, an action you take to progress your career. Well now, I think career move and an action to take progress in your career, I think they connect up. A career break. This can be when you take some time off. It could be to get some life experience, to travel for a year, or it could be perhaps you just had a baby and you want to get to know your kid. Just for example. Now, career plan, obviously, is not too difficult. Ideas you have for your future career. Career opportunities. Now, this is a chance to start a career or possibly to improve your career. Career path is the direction your working life is going to take. And then the last one, career ladder. It's a series of levels or steps in your working life. So you go in as a junior, you slowly get promoted up, and from the choices that you have of promotion inside the company, you slowly pick your way through to the career that you want. Okay, now, what we have now is some listening to do. Now, unfortunately, I have the original CD, but I can't share that with you. But what we can do is we can look at the back of this book, and you'll find that the audio transcript are there. Transcript is a written copy of what is in the audio CD. And if I remember correctly, it's around about page 163. Let's see if I'm right. Okay, I'm not too far away. Okay, so starting at page 162, or 161, the very bottom. Oh no, I'm completely wrong. Let's go back up a bit. Okay, we're getting there. So you can see there's a lot of tape script, transcript here. Okay, getting there now. Finally arrived. Okay, so the audio tape script starts at page 153. So what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to read this to you just to help you along. And as I'm reading it, you can listen along as well as reading. Now, you might find the text in my video difficult to read. That's fine. You can bring up your own copy of the PDF and read along as I'm going through this, right? So You can have the audio playing, and you can also be looking in your book if you find that the video resolution is not very good. It's not designed for reading from. So CD 1, track 1, person 1. Oh, by the way, I'm going to read this at normal speed, not slow speed, because you have to train your ear to also listen to people when they're talking normal speed. Well, for a long time, I think I was very ambitious, wanting to get to the top and earn as much money as possible. But then I decided that other things are more important. I recently decided to take a career break. So I'm traveling for a year and doing some unpaid work. I want to see something of the world and look at my options. Everyone at work says it's not a very good career move, but it's what I want to do. All my friends think I'm mad, but I think I have time. I'm only in my 30s after all. Person 2. It's been very difficult, I think, to get a start without much experience, It's a chicken and egg situation. You can't get a job without experience, and you can't get experience without a job. The career opportunities everybody talks about are not really happening for me. Maybe the problem is that I don't really have a career path in mind. I'm still not really sure what I want to do in the long term. I've done different things, but they don't seem to lead anywhere. I don't really know where I'm going. Studying at university made a lot of sense at the time, but now I'm not so sure. I don't feel very prepared for my working life. Track 3, person 3. Well, I suppose I've always had a career plan, and for me it seems to have been very successful. I first worked for the company part-time when I was a student, part of a work placement, which I organized myself. I always wanted to work in this area, and only really for one company. They offered me a full-time job, and then I worked my way up the career ladder from trader to associate manager to manager to director, and I'm now a partner. Maybe it's a bit unusual these days to work only for one company, but for me, it's all I wanted. It's only been 17 years, but I'm going to take early retirement next year and buy a boat. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the page that we came from. Okay, so we have listened to these 3 tape scripts, and then we're going to use those to help us answer exercise D. Complete the sentences below with the verbs in the box and use a dictionary to help you. Okay, now again, because you cannot write on your screen, I recommend that you write down these sentences into your notebook and then write down the answer that you think is correct in the space. That'll take you a few minutes to do, so please pause the video now and write it down and then start again when you're ready. Pause the video now, please. Okay then. So employees in large multinationals. A multinational is a company that has operations in many different countries, not just one. Employees in large multinationals have excellent career opportunities if they are willing to travel. Some people take a career break to do something adventurous, like sailing around the world or going trekking in India. Question 3. One way to make a career move is to join a small but rapidly growing company. Certain companies offer career opportunities to the long-term unemployed or to people without formal qualifications. Number 5. Ambitious people often decide on a career plan while they're still at university. And then the last one, 6. In some industries, it can take a long time to climb the career ladder. Okay, now, E. Look at these groups of words and cross out the noun or noun phrase, which is that small part of the sentence, in each group, which doesn't go with the verb in italics. Italics is when the writing is at an angle. Okay, so you don't make a training course. You can make a fortune, you can make progress, you can make a living. So let's look at number 2. You don't get progress, you can get a promotion, you get a bonus, you can get fired. British English, you can get the sack, means the same thing. You can earn a commission, you can earn money, you can earn your salary, 40,000 per year, but you don't earn a part-time job. You do a part-time job. Question 4. Do part-time work. Do a 9-to-5 job. Do your best. But you don't do a mistake. You make a mistake. And number 5. Take a pension. Take an opportunity. Take time off. Take early retirement. The odd one is take a pension. You don't take a pension, you get a pension. Okay, now, complete each of the sentences with the correct shape of a word for partnership from exercise E. So we're going to use some of these phrases down here, but we have to make sure that we write it in the correct way. So let's try. In banking, you can... What is it, do you think? Pause the video, write down the sentences, write down which one you think is correct, and then unpause the video. Are you ready? Okay, pause the video now. Okay, so bad news. I'm not going to answer these for you. You're going to have to work on it yourself, and then we'll go over the answers next time in class. Now, the next thing that we need to talk about is be aware of your online image. If I was going to go to your Instagram or to your Facebook or to your TikTok or whatever, what would I find there? Would you like your parents to see it? Would you be okay with your employer to see it? What have you posted up there? What kind of vocabulary have you been using? Is it very informal? Are you talking about controversial topics such as religion or politics? Be aware that employers Google you. You know, they type your name into Google and they see what information comes up. If your politics is to the right and the company's politics are to the left, that can stop you getting an interview and getting a job. So when you start looking for work, you need to be very careful about what you have online, because if it's online, your data can be found. When you look at your social networking, maybe it's time to tidy up and to start considering what an employer will think when he looks in at it. Okay, now, scan the article. Now, what scanning means is read it reasonably quickly. Scan the article quickly and then answer these 3 questions. Now, always read the question first. When you're looking for data, always read the question first and then go looking for that information. What percentage of employers research candidates online? What social networking sites are mentioned? And who do Peter Cullen and Farhan Yassin work for? Okay, so what percentage of employers research candidates online? I want you to read this, all of it. Now, the survey, which questioned human resource managers at the top 100 companies, found that 70% admitted to rejecting a candidate because of their online behavior. That's a big percentage of employers looking at your social media and not giving you a job if they don't like what they see. So what social networking sites are mentioned? So in here I'm looking for online companies. So we've got these ones here, haven't we? Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Okay, so be careful with those ones, right? Now, who do Peter Cullen and Farhan Yassin work for? So let's see if we can find their name. Farhan Yassin. There's an online recruitment network, careerbuilders.co.uk. Peter Cullen works for Microsoft. So we've got two different answers there, right? Okay, so we're looking at Facebook, we're looking at Twitter, and we're looking at LinkedIn. So time to start paying attention to that because you'll be graduating in a couple of years. Okay. I don't think that we need to look at these ones here. The next one I want to look at is going to be on, page 9, and we're going to be discussing this lady, Melissa Foe, is the finance director of CSE Media Limited, a television company. Listen to the first part of the interview and answer these questions. Okay, let's see if I can remember where we were. And I failed. Okay. All right, then, so we are now looking at this here. CD1, track 4, interview, MF with Melissa Fox. So we've got the interviewer and we've got Melissa Fox. Can you tell us about your job? I'm currently the finance director of CSC Media Limited, Chart Show Channels Group, which is the largest independent television business in the UK. We have a mixture of 16 channels. Some are music, some are children's, and some are movie channels. What was your previous job? I was previously the finance director of a chocolate pudding business. So we're very different from television. But the good thing about being in the finance world is that it's relatively easy to move from one sector, food production, to another sector, for example, entertainment, television. So it's relatively easy to move from sector to sector. The basic skills that you need are similar in each case. Okay, so let's remember page 153, so we don't lose that one. And then we go back to where we were before. That was the first interview. Okay. Listen to this. Listen to the first part of an interview and answer these questions. How does she describe her current company? What was her previous job? Why is it easy to move from sector to sector in the finance world? Okay, so again, you'll write down these sentences, look back to the audio script, find the answer, and then write it down into your notebook beside the question. I'm not going to go over that with you at the moment, but if you have any questions or if you're not sure, we can do it next class. Okay, so the next part is, again, listen to the second part and complete the extract. So this is actually the words that she said. Some of the words are missing. Go back to the audio script and write down the words that are missing. I'm going to read it to you, though. So let's remember, we're coming from page 59, coming from page 9, and we're going to page 153, and we're reading the second track now. How did you get into finance as a career? When I was a student, although I was studying chemistry, I thought I'd like to do something different afterwards. And I actually did a summer internship with one of the big accountancy firms, which was an excellent way to get an understanding of what the job would be like. I started off as an auditor, and it was through that experience that I got my first job. Okay. Now, I'm going to read the third track now as well, so I don't have to jump back. Have you had any good advice during your career? Yes, I've had lots of advice during my working career. I think the thing that stands out, really, not to overcomplicate things, especially in the finance world. Don't overcomplicate things. Especially in the finance world, people can get bogged down in a lot of detail. And it's important to try and maintain clarity and always be able to see above all the numbers that you're given and all the data. And what is really the key point and the key decision that you have to make. So let's go back now. So that one was talking about career advice. And then the final part. Listen to the final part. So you have to write down your answer, right? And D, listen to the final part and decide which was the interviewer's question. So we're hearing the answer, but we didn't hear the question. So what you're trying to do is listen to her answer and work out what was the question that she got asked. So let's take a look. 1, 5, 3. What I found in coming across people who've applied for positions in the companies I've worked is the key difference is people who've done a lot of research on the companies that they've applied to. People have taken the time to not just read the company accounts, but research on what the company is moving into and are able to really ask those questions at an interview. It makes all the difference. So I say research is the key. You need to read that one a few times. It's quite complicated. And then you're answering this question. And groups discuss what is the interesting question you've been asked about an interview? What's the key difference between people who work in finance? Or how would you advise people who are starting their careers? So what do you think the answer is? Okay, now we've got a little bit of grammar here. We have ability, requests. We have ability, requests, and offers. Okay, so in English, when we're describing ability, I can drive, I can't dance, just ask my wife. We use those two words when one of our choices is we can use these two words. Now, when you're making a statement, I can dance, that's fine. You say, I have the ability to dance. If you say, I could dance, that means at some time in the past. So I can drive now, but when I was 10 years old, I couldn't drive. So that's ability now and the past. can, talking about now. Could or couldn't, talking about ability in the past. I can swim now, but when I was 3 years old, I couldn't swim. Okay, talking about ability for can and could. Making an offer is when you're saying, is it possible for me to help you? So you can say that. Can you help me? Or could you help me? This is when you're making a request. Can you help me? Could you help me? What's the difference? In American English, I don't think there is any difference. In British English, could is perhaps a little bit more polite. But there's no talking about past here, which is why this is a bit confusing. When you're making a request, can or could, it's about the level of politeness. The two words mean the same. Could is a little bit more polite. Making an offer. Can I help you? Would you like some tea? We don't say, could you like some tea? That doesn't fit. So we use would instead. So, question 1 is making a request. Question 2, can I help you? Would you like a cup of coffee? Is making an offer. And then 3, I can speak Polish. She could read. This is describing ability. Now it says to go to page 141. So let's go there and see what it says. Okay, so modals: ability, request, and offer. Form: I can go, you can go, she can go, he can go, they can go, it can go. Negative: I cannot go, I can't. Can't go. And can I, can you, can she go. So when we use can and could to make requests, can I make a call? Could you tell me the time? Give or refuse permission. Yes, you can use my phone. No, you cannot go in there. Refusing permission. Making an offer. Can I help? I can take you to the station if you want. Describing ability. Paula can speak Chinese. When he was younger, he could, means he was able to. He could run a marathon in under 3 hours. I could not run a marathon in under 3 days. Right. Say that something is possible or impossible. You can make a lot of money if you work hard. I can't get through to them. Their phone is always engaged. And also we can use could to talk about future possibilities. Well, you could try talking to him. Or I think we could increase our market share. Would is a nice one. We use would when we make a request. Would you be kind enough to help me? Would you open the door for me, please? Making an offer. Would you like some water? Describing imaginary situation. Oh, I would buy a Ferrari if I had a lot of money. Okay. So now we're going to jump back again, if I remember correctly. It's page 9. Okay. Okay, and then we have a grammar exercise. Exercise A. You've got all the words, you just need to put them into the correct order and then write down the letter. Is it A, making a request? B, is it making an offer? Or C, are we asking about ability? So, write down the correct sentence that you think. So, for example, get you, can I a drink? That's not good English. But, you see the question mark. Arrange the words. Can I get you a drink? And then you decide. In that sentence, is it making a request, asking for something, or is it making an offer, you're wanting to help someone, or is it asking about ability? Can I get you a drink? And the person who wrote this thinks that is making an offer. So please rewrite these sentences. They're all questions. Rewrite these sentences in the correct order and then decide, is it an A, a B, or a C? Okay. I think that I'm going to allow you to do the telephone making contact by yourself. Read about the 3 phone calls and then answer these questions and then write down the answers again in C. Listen to the second call again and complete this little bit here. And then, what do you hear? So this one I'm going to read to you. Hello, Matt speaking. Hi, Matt. Carol here. Oh, hello, Carol. How are you? Or how are things? Right, then let's go over to here. 1, 5. Hi, hello, Matt speaking. Hello, Matt. Carol here. Oh, hello, Carol. How are you? Fine, thanks. Listen, just a quick word. Yeah, go ahead. Do you think that you would let me have the other number for Workplace Solutions? I can't get through to them. Their phone's always engaged. Yeah, I've got it here. It's 020-9756-4237. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't catch the last part. Did you say 4227? No, it's 4237. Okay, thanks. Bye. No problem. Bye. Okay. Read that again and then complete that. Do the extract and then choose what the letters are. Now, useful language. This is very important. Could I speak to Carmela Cantani, please? Yes, this is Erica Mueller. Is this the sales department? I'm calling about. Could you transfer me to the IT department? Could you tell him that I called? Could you ask him to call me back? Could I leave a message, please? So this is when you're making a call. When you're receiving a call, when someone is calling you, you want to know the name of the person. You don't say, Shapani. You say, who's calling, please? When you want to know what it is that they want, could you tell me what it's about? When you want to transfer someone to a different extension, I'll put you through. When you want someone to wait, please don't say, wait. Can you hold a moment? If you want to say someone is busy, he seems to be with someone right now. The phone is busy. Can I get him to call you? Oh, I'm afraid there's no answer. Can I take a message? I'm sorry, there's no answer. I can transfer you to his voicemail. These are very powerful phrases. Very, very good phrases. And now, this is where you do all the work. There's some background information here. There's a company that's looking to hire some people, right? Hire someone, one person. Their money is down. They're not doing very well. The problems that they have are the sales staff are not motivated and they keep on changing people. Sales managers say that low sales are due to strong competition. The previous director had no clear strategy, and there's not enough market research being done, and the customer database does not produce results. So they're looking to hire someone. The successful candidate will be responsible for increasing sales and developing marketing strategies, coordinating the work of the sales team so that they're motivated and effective, carry out market research to improve customer numbers. The successful candidate will be a strong personality with leadership qualities, energetic, dynamic, and enthusiastic. He or she will have a good academic background and relevant work experience, organizational and interpersonal skills, numeracy skills and analytical ability, and good linguistic ability. The position will involve frequent travel in 3 countries. Some difficult vocabulary there, like interpersonal skills. That means, are they good at working with other people? Numeracy skills, are they good with numbers? Analytical ability, are they logical? Linguistic ability, can they speak other languages, for example? Or are they very good with their home language? So what we have to do is to look at now 3 candidates. Now, jump back to the audio track at page 153. There's some additional information, but first read these cards, have a look at them, and keep an eye on this here, the successful candidate, what they're looking for. And then you have to try and decide, which one of these 3 people is the ideal candidate. Now, you can work in a group for this. Get yourself working with some friends in your class. Make this job easier. Read through these cards carefully. Jump to the tape script. Listen or read again some more information. And then you have to pick who you think is going to be the best candidate. And also, can you answer the question, why do you think that? So this is going to be our first assignment. Pick 2 or 3 people, 2 possibly, if the class is quite small. Work on this together and write out a report about why you think the person that you choose is the most suitable candidate. And that will be the end of our work. So here, work in groups. You're members of the interview team. Decide who to select for the vacant position and write down reasons for your choice. And then we can decide who you think. So you could do this individually and then get together with the people in your team and then finally decide. We don't need to do the reading. That exercise is from page 10, by the way, in your book. Okay, that is our lesson for today. Now, how do I suggest helping you? You'll need to remember this useful language. This is the heart of what is in this, which is extremely useful for you when you're using the telephone. Very important. So work through this by yourself. All right? That's on page 11. Going back, we're looking at that bit of grammar. Now, if you go to Google and you type in modals of ability, modals of request, modals of offer, or if you type it into YouTube, you're going to get additional information out of there. Okay then, so that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of our session for today. This is a replacement video for the first one that I made, and hopefully this one will work better than the last one. Okay then, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.